Coverage you can count on. WAAY 31 Midday News starts now.
Temperatures in the mid-40s here at 11 o'clock, but extremely, dangerously cold air is moving in for Christmas weekend. We'll have the latest on our wind chill watch coming up.
The weather will likely impact your holiday travel. What you need to know to be prepared. Thank you so much for joining us for WAAY 31 Midday News. I'm Marie Waxel.
And I'm Chris Tate, and we want to get right over to our WAAY 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center. That's where we find Storm Tracker meteorologist Carson Meredith. Carson, cold, but gonna get colder.
Dangerously cold, the likes of which we have not seen in almost 30 years around Christmas time. This morning, way below average, as you might expect. Temperatures haven't changed a whole lot this morning. 45 here in Huntsville, 44 in Decatur at 11 o'clock, 43 in Athens, 45 in the Shoals. A little bit cooler in northeast Alabama, where it's 39 in Guntersville and 43 in Fort Payne. Thick cloud cover is the reason why the temperatures will not be fluctuating a whole lot today. That, of course, the view of the Space and Rocket Center. We've had some light showers throughout the morning. You see on the WAAY 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network, the bulk of the rain has stayed to our south. Some light rain heading towards I-65 in Coleman County. I'll zoom in on Madison and Jackson counties in particular. That's where we're still seeing a few lingering showers close to Princeton, Skyline, High Top, also on the north side of Huntsville and along 72 as you get closer to the County Line Road. We'll keep that small chance for a few showers as you head out for lunch. Temperatures, again, not changing a whole lot today. 46 is that forecast high. There is our wind chill watch. Every single county in our coverage area now under that wind chill watch from 6 o'clock Thursday night until noon on Christmas Eve Saturday. What does this mean? This means we will see wind chills as low as 15 degrees below zero. We'll talk about how long this bitterly cold air is with us in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Carson. And remember to keep track of those dropping temperatures. As the week goes on, you want to download our WAAY 31 Storm Tracker Weather app. It is free to download.
That app is a good resource to have.
Well, you might consider leaving early if you have plans to travel this holiday weekend.
Expected snow and ice in the Midwest and North could actually make it very difficult. Flights likely will be canceled and roads likely covered.
My little car drives pretty good, but if it gets too bad, I'll stay home and be safe. But it's true. Not everybody knows how to drive in this kind of weather.
Well, AAA estimates about 110 million people will travel either by car or plane to their Christmas destinations. Huntsville City leaders making sure people have a warm place to ride out this cold weather this weekend. Both the Salvation Army and the Downtown Rescue Mission are opening their warming shelters Friday. Huntsville Police and Huntsville's transit system will make sure people also have rides to those shelters if they need them.
Hands Across Decatur will open its overnight emergency shelter at 4 on Thursday. The shelter needs volunteers to make sure it can stay open through Christmas Day. DeKalb County leaders are taking no chances when it comes to keeping everyone safe during this dangerous cold snap. Roads will be treated to try and prevent them from freezing. County offices will be closed Thursday through Monday. Warming centers will be open across the county to make sure everyone has a warm place to be.
If you need help out in the rural areas, this is where this could take place. You call this office. We're here to help you. Our people are ready to do whatever needs to be done, and we will assist them in whatever they need.
To find the closest warming shelter to you, EMA officials want you to call them. This is in DeKalb County, that number right there on your screen.
All right, now North Alabama hospitals are in need of blood. Life South actually hosting a blood drive as we speak at the Albertville Chamber of Commerce on Sand Mountain Drive. Donors get a $20 gift card for giving that gift of life.
Medical marijuana businesses will not be allowed to open in the city of Madison. City council members voted against the proposal last night. Madison's police chief and several city council leaders expressed concerns about regulating the businesses.
The state is giving several groups more than $5.5 million to help fight violent crime and to help victims recover. Governor Ivey says that money will help provide security and emotional support for those victims. 3 North Alabama agencies will get a total of $650,000.
The House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot recommends federal prosecutors charge former President Donald Trump for the attack. The committee says the former president spread lies about the 2020 election results and was directly responsible for the attack.
He wanted to talk about that he thought the election had been stolen or was corrupt, and that there was widespread fraud. And I had told him that our reviews had not shown that to be the case.
The Justice Department has no obligation to act on those referrals. The January 6th committee will release its final report tomorrow. More than a dozen people from Alabama have been charged with federal crimes for that Capitol riot. 2 have already pleaded guilty for their roles in the violent attack.
2 men are in jail themselves after they tried to break into, of all places, the Madison County Jail. Now, that happened earlier this month. Madison County Sheriff says Alonzo Hewitt and Tyreek Norris used bolt cutters to get through a fence and onto jail property. They say they also had a knife, cell phone, drugs, and a gun with them.
People that are locked up in jail, a lot of them were drug dealers. A lot of them sold dope on the streets. So they have their hands on a large amounts of money that will pay people to take a chance to do this.
Gotta admit, this is a strange one. We hear a lot about people trying to break out of jail. Few that we know of try to break in. The sheriff says, though, there are now new security measures in place to make sure something like this doesn't happen again. I kind of think that's not going to be an ongoing problem.
Oh, no. In Limestone County now, the teenager accused of killing 5 of his family members will be back in court this week. Mason Sisk is set to go before a judge Thursday. It's so the court can get an update on forensic testing of the suspected murder weapon. Also today, the judge said he'd allow testimony and exhibits from prior proceedings over Sisk's efforts to suppress his previous statements. The judge's order would allow defense witnesses to be subpoenaed to testify. Madison County deputies want you to be aware of a telephone scam. The sheriff's office says someone is calling people, telling them they missed jury duty. They then demand a wire payment. If you get a call like this, just hang up. Keep in mind the sheriff's office does not ask for money over the phone. They are trying to take your hard-earned money.
It's a red flag right there.
We'll take a look at your screen right now. An Amber Alert is out for Jocelyn Campbell. Jocelyn disappeared 2 days ago. She's 6 years old, weighs 45 pounds, and is missing from Springville, Alabama. That's just north of Mobile. If you've seen Jocelyn or know anything about her whereabouts, please contact authorities.
A Huntsville man has a far better chance of surviving the cold temperatures ahead thanks to a good-hearted garbage truck driver. As he emptied a dumpster on Madden Street yesterday, he saw a man fall out of it into his truck. Well, he rushed to make sure that man was okay when he realized that man had actually been sleeping in that dumpster to stay warm. He called his boss to let him know what happened, and when the boss came, they all went shopping to buy that man warm clothes and boots.
Wow.
In the world in which we live today, you don't hear enough people doing the good things, right? We always hear the bad news. And it's just something that we do here at our business unit. It's something that I've been taught over the years by my parents. When you have something to give it.
Sounds like he was raised right to me.
Absolutely.
Well, that boss also encouraged that man to seek help at the Downtown Rescue Mission. A huge thank you to both of them for that kind-heartedness at Christmas time. The Biden administration wants to light up energy efficiency at the White House.
Plus, the ruling that could change security at the U.S. southern border.
Still have a few light showers, mainly east of I-65. Those are moving out, and now the focus turns to the dangerous cold for Christmas weekend. We'll talk about how low those temperatures go coming up.
Coverage you can count on. You're watching WAAY 31 News with the WAAY 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network.
today, the Supreme Court plans to order an extension to Title 42. This comes as Texas sends hundreds of National Guard soldiers to El Paso.
ABC's Morgan Norwood is in El Paso right now, where the city's resources already strained.
The rollback of Title 42, the Trump-era health policy keeping asylum seekers from entering the U.S., now on pause. The Supreme Court temporarily halting the policy's expiration after 19 GOP-led states filed an appeal. The Supreme Court asking the Biden administration to respond today. But while that court battle plays out, migrants, men, women, and children escaping corruption and violence in their home country continue to pour into El Paso in droves.
We're going to continue to proceed as if it was being lifted. We want to make sure that we're prepared.
Hundreds of Texas National Guard troops now on the ground to help the city try to manage the steady flow of migrants. This video provided to ABC News by Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez, appearing to show overcrowding at the El Paso Processing Center. On the streets, migrants huddled around a campfire. Javier Garcia came here from Venezuela. He says it's worth it. We want to go through because we had a dream of crossing and working and raising our family and helping out parents who stayed there. Back in Washington, the White House pressed on its response, saying it's surging resources to the border.
We have additional robust planning underway, but we need Congress to give us the funds we've requested to do this in a safe, orderly, and humane way.
According to authorities, more migrants are expected in the coming days, and authorities here in El Paso are working with the Red Cross to find a shelter big enough to house 10,000 cots. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, El Paso, Texas.
Well, the Federal Trade Commission says Fortnite creators could owe some players big money. Well, welcome back, everybody. 16 minutes past 11 o'clock right now. Freed Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout is visiting Russian-occupied areas of Ukraine right now. He attended the opening event for the Liberal Democratic Party of Russia. Bout says he's glad to visit Ukraine for the first time in his life and says he's confident that region will soon be peaceful.
New at midday, thousands of people are without power after a 6.4 earthquake hit Northern California. The quake hit Eureka. That's about around 2:30 Pacific time this morning, so dozens of people were sleeping. More than a dozen small quakes then resulted, registering 4.6 magnitude. The NOAA actually says there's no tsunami threat at this time, which is good news.
Well, former Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein now awaiting sentencing after being convicted for rape in yet another case. Weinstein could spend up to 24 years in prison. He's already serving 23 years for a similar conviction in New York from back in 2020. Well, lawyers say they plan to appeal that sentence.
If the New York conviction remains intact, the women whom Harvey Weinstein victimized in Southern California deserved to have their day in court.
So these latest charges and this latest conviction is out of Los Angeles, California. A jury actually convicted Weinstein of 3 of the 7 charges against him. Well, a woman is in jail after police say she tried to steal actor Robert De Niro's Christmas presents yesterday. Police say she was caught after burglarizing the actor's home in New York City. Now, they say she was actually just taking those gifts right from under his Christmas tree. He was home at the time. He did not apparently confront her or interact with her. I know I'd probably broken a branch off that tree and whipped her away from my presence, but I'm just saying.
I'm sure he got a surprise. Well, Elon Musk could step down as Twitter's CEO after a Twitter poll he created. Now, he asked users if he should step down. More than 55% of voters said yes, he should. Musk said he would follow the results of the poll, but has yet to comment on the final tally. More than 17 million users voted in that poll. Creators of the video game Fortnite will pay nearly $500 million after the FTC said it misled millions of its players. The agency says the game gathered personal information on kids and encouraged them to spend money without their parents' consent. The game's creators say they will refund $245 million to those players who were misled. Wow.
Yes, it's a lot of money.
Yes, a lot of money. A lot of money we're going to be paying on our heating bills with cold air coming our
Don't
way.
even want to think about it. We need to check in right now, though, with Storm Tracker meteorologist Carson Meredith. Carson, what is the timeline that we're looking at?
Thursday night, Chris and Marie, that's when the extremely cold, the dangerous cold starts to move in. And once it arrives, it is going to stay with us all weekend long. Christmas this year is looking extremely cold, one of the coldest we've ever seen, in fact. On the WAAY 31 Skycam network this morning, it's mostly cloudy. It is on the cool side, but this will be warm compared to what we're going to be dealing with in a few days. Temperatures for the most part in the mid-40s. Lone exception is Gunnersville, where it's 39 in Marshall County. On the WAAY 31 Storm Tracker early warning radar network, you see the more widespread rain still to our south. That is going to be this case throughout the day. So heading towards Birmingham, Montgomery, the coastline, going to be running into a bit more rain there. Still have a couple of light showers here at home across northern Madison County, stretching into Jackson County. But that rain coverage will continue to taper off, that is, throughout the day. Otherwise, it stays chilly. 46 your forecast high. Those temperatures have not changed a whole lot, and with that cloud cover sticking around, it's going to hold steady. Well, those temperatures in the low to mid-40s through around 9 o'clock tonight. But we will have a little bit of clearing by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. You see by 4 o'clock this afternoon on future radar, we are done with the rain, but the clouds are holding tough. You see those clouds break up just a little bit by tomorrow morning. So maybe a few peaks of sun closer to sunrise, only to have those clouds fill right back in tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. We will stay dry on Wednesday, and it's actually going to be a bit mild. Highs in the low 50s tomorrow. A couple of showers can't be ruled out throughout the day on Thursday, but the main focus comes your way with that Arctic front on Thursday night. This is what we're watching. The temperatures will crash, and I mean absolutely crash, Thursday night and Friday morning. Right along that front, there could be just enough moisture for some light snow. Even if we do not see snow, the rainwater that's left over on the roads, it is going to freeze, and we'll have to deal with some black ice Friday morning. And as we've already mentioned, those dangerously cold temperatures will stay with us for your Christmas weekend. Let's talk about that snow chance in a little more detail. This is 5 o'clock Thursday evening. A few light showers around, rain showers. Then the widespread rain moves in past sunset on Thursday night. It's all going to come down to timing. If that cold air moves in while there's still moisture around, that rain could very quickly transition to some light snow. Accumulations appear light at this point. Most of us, maybe a dusting, half-inch can't be ruled out in the higher terrain, but the snow does not look to cause significant issues. But as we mentioned, that moisture left over from the rain on Thursday may cause some black ice Friday morning because those temperatures will crash. 18 on Friday. That is it for your highs. We're in the low 20s Saturday, back up to 30, but still below freezing by Sunday. When you factor in a very strong wind, gusting closer to 40 miles per hour, this is what it's going to feel like Friday morning. 10 to 15 degrees below zero. When you add that wind chill, only feeling like zero or just below zero Friday afternoon, back below zero for everybody by Christmas Eve morning, still feeling like the lower teens on Saturday afternoon, and back down to the single digits on Christmas Day. This is the kind of cold where you got to take it seriously. Just stay inside if you possibly can. If you have to be outside, dress in several layers, cover up that exposed skin, and we've said it all week, we'll keep saying it, bring those pets inside.
We can't stress that enough. Please bring those pets inside. Health leaders have been warning about the surge of winter viruses.
The latest concern regarding heart health during the holidays.
Welcome back, everybody. 11:25 right now on this Tuesday. There's more than the winter virus surge doctors are concerned about this season. They're now warning about heart health.
That's right, Andrea. ABC's Andrea Fujii has more about this serious risk.
This morning, doctors are urging Americans to put heart health at the top of their holiday to-do list. That's because more people die from heart attacks between December 25th and January 1st compared to any other week of the year, with Christmas Day being the deadliest day of all. Doctors say the leading factors include family stress and falling out of good habits like healthy eating.
It's not just an issue that holiday heart is a benign condition. It actually is a very potentially serious condition that causes people to develop heart failure symptoms.
Increased alcohol intake can also result in what doctors call holiday heart syndrome. That's when binge drinking causes irregular heartbeats, which are associated with a higher risk for stroke.
Certain people might be more predisposed to it, but you could have no history of any heart-related conditions and drink excessively or consume too much alcohol during the holidays, and you could create a situation where you develop atrial fibrillation, congestive heart failure, even in the absence of any pre-existing risk factors.
A lack of sleep is another major concern. A new survey found adults, on average, lose 39 minutes of sleep per night over the holidays. And if you're hosting a holiday party, prepare to get even less shut-eye. Party hosts reported sleeping up to 83 minutes less than usual on their party night, all contributing factors that doctors warn could spoil the holiday fun if you don't make time to take care of yourself.
Doctors say pay attention to warning signs like chest pain and shortness of breath, and never postpone a visit to the doctor. Andrea Fuji, ABC News, New York.
Well, the temperatures are dropping over the next few days.
Protect your home from winter damage. Those details next.
Coverage you can count on. You're watching WAAY 31 News with the WAAY 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network.
Let's take a live look now at Lake Gunnersville from our WAAY 31 Thompson Roofing and Construction Sky Camera Network. Just a gloomy looking day right there. Could see some showers. In fact, we have seen some pockets of rain already this morning. Cold out there too.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
a
big
beautiful
story.
part of our state. I do love that area.
Thanks
Even
so much.
gloomy.
I know. Thanks so much for staying with us for WAAY 31 Midday News. I'm Marie Waxel.
And I'm Chris Tatum. We do want to get right over to Storm Tracker meteorologist Carson Meredith, though, and talk about this gloomy today that's going to become cold later this week.
Extremely cold. One of the coldest Christmases we have seen in 30 years. More than 30 years, in fact. But right now on the WAAY 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network, we have the last of those rain showers making their way east of I-65. I'll zoom back in on Jackson and Madison County, and you notice this is very light rain. More than anything else, just a few sprinkles or drizzle at this point. Some of those pockets of drizzle in North Huntsville, also closer to the Arsenal right now. More widespread showers, if you will, in northwestern Jackson County, close to High Top and Princeton. This activity will continue to move east through the rest of the afternoon, and by about 2 or 3 o'clock today, that rain is completely gone. Here's your weather on the go with the WAAY 31 Storm Tracker weather app. Temperatures right now in the mid-40s, and we'll keep those temperatures in the mid-40s all day, thanks to that cloud cover keeping us from warming up a whole lot. Any Tuesday night plans you might have should be just fine. We'll be dry, but those temperatures will drop quickly down to the low 40s by 8 o'clock and down into the 30s after midnight tonight. We'll see some clearing skies tonight, only for those clouds to fill right back in tomorrow. Main focus, of course, is what is going to be an extremely cold weekend. Dangerous wind chills arrive Thursday night and will stay with us through Saturday morning. We are talking about temperatures way below freezing, closer to 0, with those feels-like temperatures as low as -15. We'll have the latest on our wind chill watch and also talk about that small chance for snow Thursday night coming up in just a few minutes.
And remember, you can keep an eye on this week's low temperatures by downloading our WAAY 31 Storm Tracker weather app. You'll be able to get access to our early warning radar network and track this Arctic blast right along with our team of meteorologists. Best of all, it is free to download. If you're traveling this holiday weekend, now is the time to protect your home from the cold.
Yes, it is. Heating and cooling experts say check your garages and crawl spaces and even your attic to make sure everything is sealed. Also, they say remember to set your thermostat to keep your pipes from bursting.
I'd rather spend a few dollars more on keeping my home heated, and if I'm out of town, knowing I got that peace of mind that that hopefully my water pipes are going to be good. And if you're going to be gone 2 weeks, if you got some relatives, I'd at least go by and check on the home.
I've actually read, Marie, that sometimes they recommend about 68 degrees at a minimum to keep the house warm enough to keep those pipes from freezing. Wow. Let the faucet drip, though, and also be sure to open the cabinet below your sink so that heat from the house can get in there and keep those pipes warm. Well, Huntsville City leaders making sure people have a warm place to go this weekend. Salvation Army and the Downtown Rescue Mission opening warming shelters Friday. Huntsville Police and the transit system also giving rides to people who need them to those shelters. And Hands Across Decatur opening its overnight emergency shelter at 4 o'clock Thursday afternoon. Here's the other thing about that shelter, though, right now, it does need volunteers to keep it staffed while it's open. If you have time and are able to do that, please do. That shelter will be open through Christmas Day.
In DeKalb County, leaders there also not taking chances when it comes to keeping everyone safe during this dangerous cold snap. Roads will be treated ahead of time to try to prevent them from freezing. County offices will be closed Thursday through Monday. If you have business, get it done today or tomorrow. Warming centers will open across DeKalb County to make sure everyone has a warm place to go.
If you need help out in the rural areas, this is where this could take place. You call this office. We're here to help you. Our people are ready to do whatever needs to be done, and we will assist them in whatever they need.
Now, DeKalb County EMA leaders say give them a call. The number is right there on your screen to find the closest warming shelter near you. Today, a local fire department needs your help making Christmas special for a Marshall County family who lost their home yesterday. The department's collecting clothes and gifts for that family of 5. That fire happened on Glasgow Drive in Boaz early yesterday morning. You can drop off your gifts and donations at the locations that we have for you on WAAYTV.com. You can see all of the locations listed when you open up this story online. New details now. The father who sparked an Amber Alert's been charged with kidnapping, burglary, and assault. Police say Roberto Goddins III was charged today. An Amber Alert was actually issued yesterday saying that he kidnapped his son. The child was returned by his grandmother after the alert was issued, and then that child was found safe.
Well, 2 men are in jail themselves after investigators say, of all things, they tried to break into the Madison County Jail. Madison County Sheriff says Alonzo Hewitt and Tyrick Norris used bolt cutters to get through the fence and onto the jail's property. But they said they also had with them a cell phone, a knife, drugs, and a gun.
People that are locked up in jail, a lot of them were drug dealers. A lot of them sold dope on the streets. So they have their hands on a large amounts of money that will pay people to take a chance to do this.
Scratching my head. I've heard of them breaking out, but trying to break in is a whole new thing. The sheriff says there are new security measures in place, though, to keep something like this from happening again.
The teenager accused of killing 5 of his family members will be back in court this week. Mason Sisk is set to go before a judge Thursday. It's to allow the court to get an update on forensic testing of the suspected murder weapon. Also today, the judge said he would allow testimony and exhibits from prior proceedings over Sisk's efforts to suppress his previous statements. The judge's order will allow defense witnesses to be subpoenaed to testify. Now to an Amber Alert out from South Alabama. Take a look at your screen right now. Jocelyn Campbell has disappeared 2 days ago. She's 6 years old, weighs 45 pounds, and disappeared from Springville, Alabama. That's just north of Mobile. Alabama law enforcement agencies ask if you've seen her or know anything about where she may be to contact authorities. The House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot wants a federal judge to prosecute former President Donald Trump for his actions regarding the attack. However, the Department of Justice is not obligated to act on those referrals.
ABC's Faith Abube is in Washington with more on this complicated fallout.
This morning, the fallout continues after that decisive move by the House January 6th Select Committee. The panel wrapping up its sweeping 18-month-long investigation by issuing 4 unprecedented criminal referrals against a former president, urging the Justice Department to prosecute former President Donald Trump for a multi-part conspiracy, obstructing an official proceeding, conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to make a false statement, and inciting an insurrection.
It was with solemnity and sadness that the facts led to criminal referrals for the former President of the United States.
The panel, made up of 2 Republicans and 7 Democrats, using a video montage to highlight some of the most damning evidence they uncovered against Trump. From lies about the 2020 election to sworn testimony from his own allies, alleging for 187 minutes, Trump ignored urgent calls to stop the January 6th violence.
No man who would behave that way at that moment in time can ever serve in any position of authority in our nation again.
Some of the Capitol police officers who fended off the angry mob in the room.
I agree with all the referrals, and I think he needs to be held accountable.
In a social media statement, Trump defending his actions, saying the committee's move only strengthens him, adding, quote, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger." Former Vice President Mike Pence, himself a target of the mob on January 6th, telling Fox News,
"I think that would be terribly divisive in the country at a time when the American people want to see us heal."
And the January 6th committee also referred Trump's election attorney, John Eastman, and others for criminal prosecution. It's also urging a congressional ethics investigation against 4 GOP congressmen who ignored lawfully issued subpoenas from the committee. A full report will be released tomorrow. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
A separate House committee is due to vote today on whether to release the former president's tax returns. Well, brand new at midday, tickets for a George Jones tribute show will go on sale Thursday. Now, the late singer's wife announced this morning the concert will take place at the Von Braun Center. It'll be December 22nd and will feature artists like Brad Paisley, Dierks Bentley, Jamie Johnson, Tanya Tucker, Trace Adkins, and several others. Some of the names to play on that show still undecided.
The first player is now signed for the Huntsville City Football Club.
Take a look at who will kick off the 2023 season.
Good thing it's not soccer season right now. Temperatures in the mid-40s, cloudy skies across North Alabama, but that extreme cold, yes, it is still on the way. We'll talk about what it means for your Christmas travel plans coming up.
Welcome back, everybody. 11:43 right now. I want to get back to a story we told you about just a moment ago. A story happening right now this morning in the sense that we are learning we may have the hottest ticket in town if you're looking for stocking stuffers. George Jones, the late country singer, his widow announced this morning a George Jones tribute show coming to Huntsville, to Von Braun Center. It is April 25th when that show will happen, but those tickets go on sale Thursday. And of course, we also know a little bit about the lineup now for that show. We're talking about artists like Brad Paisley, Dierks Bentley, Jamie Johnson, Tanya Tucker, Trace Adkins, many others. And I believe they're even still trying to put the roster of artists set to perform in that show together. This is, of course, the show is called Still Playing Possum. It's to honor 10 years now, hard to believe, 10 years since George Jones left us. Well, tonight, Alabama's basketball team will try to bounce back after losing over the weekend.
The Tide will take on Jackson State in Tuscaloosa. They fell to number 9 in the new AP basketball poll after losing to Gonzaga over the weekend. Tonight's also the last game before SEC play. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m.
Huntsville City FC has its first ever player.
Isaiah Johnston is the first player to sign with the new club. Johnston most recently played in the Canadian Premier League for York FC. There he played in nearly 60 games and scored 3 goals.
Being the first professional football team in Huntsville was very intriguing as well. To be a part of something new, to be able to help build something from scratch and be a key piece in that was also a big part of me coming down.
We are very happy to have him here in Huntsville. Huntsville FC will start play at a fully renovated Joe Davis Stadium
I'm so excited.
in the spring. A Tennessee family nearly lost their dog when he was put on the wrong flight. Those details next.
Welcome back, everybody. 11:47. President Biden's administration wants to make the White House more energy efficient. They want to replace all fluorescent lights with more energy efficient LED bulbs. Now, the Department of Energy says LED bulbs last 3 times longer than fluorescents, which I suppose you could say is good for all us taxpayers.
A Tennessee family will hold their dog a little closer this Christmas after it was accidentally put on the wrong flight to Saudi Arabia. The dog was supposed to be on a flight from London to Nashville. Instead, the pup's crate was placed on a British Airways flight to the Middle East. It wasn't until the family landed they realized their 5-year-old dog wasn't with them in the U.S.
They said that she wasn't in Nashville and that
their best guess was that she was in Saudi Arabia. We had to go and grab her because she was so horrified. And that's when we knew something was wrong.
British Airways has not said how that mix-up happened. Wow. Oof. Well, Huntsville Animal Services wants you to open your heart and home to a furry friend for the holidays. Fostering gives pets one-on-one attention who aren't able to get it in a shelter. Animal Services provides supplies and any required medication for all animals in foster care. Plus, if you end up falling in love with him or her, you have first dibs at adopting that pet. And it's a good thing, too, if you can open your homes. We're trying to get all the pets indoors before this cold air really moves in.
You can't stress that enough.
And protecting your pipes, too. People, pipes, pets, plants. Hopefully, if you have anything still kicking out there.
The 4 Ps, guys. That's what we like to call all of those. And we're going to need to take care of all of those over the next few days. Thursday night through the rest of Christmas weekend. That's how long these dangerous cold temperatures are going to be around. Before we dive deeper into that, I want to show you the WAAY 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network. We still have a few light rain showers in our eastern counties this morning. Madison County, right over South Huntsville, getting close to Hampton Cove, a very light shower for the time being. Also out in Jackson County, northern Jackson County, some light rain. But the bulk of the rain is starting to move out, and it's also staying to our south, too. But as you can see in Albertville on the WAAY 31 Skycam Network, we have some raindrops on the lenses. Give it a couple more hours and this rain will be done for the day. The clouds are not going anywhere, and that means the temperatures are not going anywhere either. We're in the mid-40s right now. We're staying in the mid-40s for those forecast highs. We'll call it 46 later on today. Here's future radar. 4 o'clock this afternoon, staying cloudy but drying things out. We'll see a little bit of clearing sky overnight tonight. When you wake up on Wednesday morning, it's a quiet start, maybe a few peaks of sun tomorrow morning, but by tomorrow afternoon, that cloud cover starts to move in. We will stay dry tomorrow, and those temperatures will actually be a bit on the mild side. We're going for the 50s on Wednesday and the 50s on Thursday before those big changes arrive Thursday night. 2 components with this system. Obviously, the dangerous cold, but there is still a lower-end threat for some light snow. It all depends on where the moisture is as that cold Arctic air moves in. If there's enough moisture still around, we can have a very quick transition from all rain to all snow. Now, this moisture is not going to be around very long, so any accumulations will be light. We're talking a dusting in many spots, the higher terrain of northeast Alabama, maybe getting closer to a ½ inch of snowfall, but the snow is not going to necessarily cause significant travel issues. Having said that, any rainwater that's left over on the roads Thursday night is going to freeze into black ice by Friday morning. This is the reason why. We go from 52 on Thursday to 18 for your forecast high on Friday, and it will feel much, much colder than that. A very strong wind gust, upwards of 30, 40 miles per hour. Wind chill watch is in effect. The first time ever North Alabama has been under a wind chill watch. It starts at 6 o'clock Thursday night and is with us until noon on Christmas Eve. We will see those feels-like temperatures go from the 50s Thursday night to close to 15 degrees below zero by 7 o'clock Friday morning. This is why we are emphasizing so much to bring your pets inside, protect those pipes too. During the day on Friday, it'll only feel like zero, maybe below zero in a few spots all day. Back to below zero for everybody with those feels like temperatures when you wake up Saturday morning. Still feeling like the teens Christmas Eve afternoon, and still feeling like the single digits for Christmas morning. That extreme cold is not going anywhere, but you see on the 7-day forecast as we get towards Monday, we will finally get above freezing, but it'll still be chilly with those highs only close to 40. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Happening today, you can celebrate the third night of Hanukkah by joining a parade through downtown Huntsville.
The Menorah Parade starts at 5 o'clock at Huntsville Middle School. That's over on Adams Street. A police escort will lead cars that have menorahs mounted on top. It will travel around the Addison County Courthouse several times. Very festive, very fun parade to see. And you can celebrate Hanukkah at Bridge Street Town Center Thursday. A menorah lighting ceremony set for 4:30 outside the Apple Store. The free event will also feature festive music and lots of Hanukkah
Latkes
cheer.
I saw on that list. That sounds delicious.
Just make sure you bundle up. It's a tolerable chill today, if you will. Highs only in the mid-40s, and then those temperatures crash Thursday night. 15 below zero wind chills Friday, and we will stay below freezing through Christmas Day.
Make your preps now.
Yes.
Next newscast at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Hope you'll come back and watch. We hope you have a great